The tragedy that unfolded in the quiet neighborhood of Iselu on March 7, 2026, serves as a harrowing reminder of how thin the veil is between domestic peace and senseless violence. The death of Mrs. Carolyn Agoe, a 54-year-old mother of four, was not the result of a grand conspiracy or a deep-seated blood feud. Instead, it was the explosive climax of a neighbor's long-standing hostility, ignited by nothing more than the drifting of plastic waste on a morning breeze. Carolyn lived with her family in an unfinished one-story building in the Owo local government area of Ondo State. They occupied the ground floor, a home they had built with the hope of one day completing the upper level. Her neighbor, Alhaji Kasim Ayodele Abdullahi, was a man of stature and contradictions, a retired vice principal and a devout Muslim who had established a Quranic center adjacent to his residence. Kasim was nonetheless described by the community as a man of volatile and hostile temperament. This friction between his religious leadership and his private aggression created a simmering tension that finally boiled over. The catalyst for the violence was a routine chore. Carolyn had gathered a pile of rubber and pure water sachets to burn in front of her house. Accounts of what happened next differ slightly, but the outcome remains the same. Some say Kasim simply took offense at the smoke. Others claim the wind caught the charred remnants of the nylon, carrying them across the unfenced boundary and onto the grounds of his mosque. To Kasim, this was not an environmental accident, but a personal affront. What makes the incident particularly chilling is the digital witness to the crime. As the confrontation escalated, Carolyn was on the phone with her husband, a commercial driver. He became the helpless auditor of his wife's final moments, listening from miles away as the verbal altercation turned into a physical invasion of their property. During this second fatal confrontation, Kasim and his son reportedly entered Carolyn's yard. With most neighbors away at work or school, there was no one to intervene. In a fit of rage, Kasim allegedly struck Carolyn with a wooden bench. The impact was devastating. She collapsed instantly, foaming at the mouth, a physiological sign of severe trauma, as her life slipped away. Though she was rushed to a nearby hospital, the damage was irreversible. The aftermath of the killing has left Iselu Owo in a state of shock and mourning. Justice, however, was swift in its initial stages. Alhaji Kasim was apprehended and moved to Akure for further investigation, though the exact level of his son's involvement remains a subject of police scrutiny. Ultimately, the story of Carolyn Agoe is a stark tragedy of neighborliness gone wrong. A life extinguished over a handful of wind-blown trash, and a man's inability to temper his rage with the very grace he likely taught at his center.